How did you like 2.7 main story? I'm going to be honest with you. It was good, right? It was good, but wasn't crazy. Like there was a lot of stuff that I enjoyed, but there was a lot more stuff that I didn't enjoy. For starters, the 2.7 was buggy as fuck. Like I don't know how it is now, but when I played the main story, it was very buggy. Very, very buggy. Long loading screens, right? Very long loading screens. Um, what else? Textures not loading correctly. Also, what I felt a lot this patch was that for some reason it felt like I was playing Genshin half of the time. And don't get me wrong here. Like, I didn't completely dislike it, but it felt like I was playing Genshin. At least on the character movement part, right? Usually, Wuthering Waves has this very fluid movement. Not as much as something like ZZZ, because everyone there is made of, like, jelly, but Wuthering Waves has a very fluid movement. And they talk while they move, right? You can see that during like 2.6, 2.5, I mean the whole 2.0, 2.x and forward. You can see that. They talk and move and have reactions and stuff like that, and it's pretty well paced. There's no weird pauses. In 2.7, for some reason, they went mayhem with the weird ass pauses. A character talks, they stop talking, then they move. For example, imagine I'm Grover, right? Imagine I'm Grover. So I'm talking to Lupa here. And I say, "Hey Lupa, what's this?" Then I stop. Then I go over here. Then I look at her, and I start talking again, right? Then I stop talking. Then I move over here, right? And then I do like a thumbs up. And then my hand goes down. And then I start talking again. And then Lupo does the same. Where she starts talking. Then she does like she stops. She does some movement. She turns around and starts talking again. Like, that was the whole 2.7. It felt like I was playing Genshin. The story wasn't half bad. I still liked it. But it wasn't as good as the other patches. The pacing felt fine. The first part was like the setup and stuff like that, which I didn't mind. It's understandable, they have to set up everything. Then the second part had some peak cutscenes. Second part had some peak cutscenes. My favorite cutscene was probably when we were fighting the Threnodian at the end, and when the Threnodian goes like, Abraxas, why would thou betray us? And Abby is like, what? And Rover looks at Abby like, you better start talking, bitch. That was my favorite cutscene. It was like super peak. We got some like a teaser to what's coming, to a little hint as to what Abby actually is, right? That was like peak. I really liked it. Now, for the rest of 2.7, the cutscenes were good, don't get me wrong, but it was missing a lot of context and a lot of things that we should have gotten. For example, I think we should have gotten like I think Kuro should have divided the quest into two for the first half of the patch and then the second half of the patch, right? And what they should have done is, on the first half, we had like all the setup with Galbrena as we did. They should have extended and made more and emphasized more on the Kartathia death, right? Because, well, I just started playing, boom, Kartathia is dead, and there was no emotion. I was like, what? Already? Like, that's crazy. That was my reaction, right? So, that, if they waited a little longer to kill her off, it would have made it seem that, well, we were towards the end and there's no salvation now. When they kill her off right at the start, we know, well, we have the whole story ahead. She will come back, right? Then, there's the Black Shores. Why didn't we get any information on Black Shores? They make a mistake. Kuro Games makes a mistake by only showing the player what the rover sees. So the player only knows what the rover knows. And that's fine to a certain extent, right? But the thing is, it doesn't have to be like that. We don't always have to play as the rover. And they showed us that when we were playing as, well, Galbrena, when we were playing as Kian, and stuff like that. They could have showed us like a 10 to 20 minutes like mini side quest on the Black Shores where we play, I don't know, as shorekeeper or whatever, and we get like a information on what's happening on the Black Shores and what they are planning and what they are going to do. We could have also gotten like some more gameplay when well, from each character before they assembled, right? We didn't get any information on the characters before they assembled. What was going on with them, what was happening, their relationships, which is something they also didn't build upon. They didn't really build upon like other characters' relationships with each other. They only built upon character relationships with Rover, and it doesn't feel as like heartwarming, doesn't feel as good when those characters come together to fight for a greater good, when everything they have in common is just that they know Rover. And, well, it makes the story not as great because of that. It's still good, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it, but it will never be a masterpiece if it keeps going like that. It's like that anime that we enjoy watching, we like for the fighting scenes, and there's some crazy battles and stuff like that. But we like the anime, but we don't. But it's not our favorite, and it's not like winning any awards, right? The same goes for Wuthering Waves story. I think we can say the same for the Wuthering Waves story. And that's my full opinion on it. Maybe I'll turn it into a video. Maybe I'll cut it out and post it later. Because, well, I've been wanting to say that actually. Are you excited for Lahao Roy? Is that the new region, or is that like a, or is that the, what's it called? The region Kalchari is from, like the commissions, whatever the fuck. I was sad in the story because we didn't get to talk with Shorekeeper. Also, that's why they should have divided the story in two parts. The first part was 6 hours, right? Like the story we got was like around 6 hours. They should have made that 6 hours into like the first part and then add another 6 hours for the second part. And they have enough content to do that. They had the Black Shore setup, they had the Renazita setup, they had the Septimont setup, right? They also had the new character Galbrena, they had the Fraxidus, they had a lot to work with to make like the story good, with a good pacing, not bloated and long. They could have made it all of that like at the same time. They could have made the story long but still not bloated or like artificially inflated because they just had so much content to put in there. They just decided not to. It's new region. Well, I'm looking forward to what they are delivering in the new region. Yes. The Architect VA was so slow that it got boring for the. Yeah, it was I didn't mind his voice acting. It was indeed slow, but that's that wasn't something that, well, ruined it for me, right? What ruined it for me was the character talking to Rover. They go to the side, they turn to Rover again, they do a little gesture, and then they talk, and then they put their hand down and walk away again, and then look at Rover again, and then they talk. There's no like, what's it called? There's no fluidity. There's no fluidity to the movements and talking. It doesn't seem natural when they do that, right? That's like probably my biggest issue. I see a lot of people like praising the story, saying like that it's peak, it's the best thing ever. It's like super amazing, stuff like that. Just because they like the cutscenes and they were hyped because of the cutscenes. But the cutscenes are just like, what, 10%? 5% of the patch? Not even of the patch's story? Not even that, maybe? Maybe closer to like 2% or something? So you cannot rate a story's patch's story by cutscenes alone. Black Stars, we only talk to Alto, yeah. To me, it felt rushed. It felt very, very, very rushed. I enjoyed Galbrena's backstory. I enjoyed it too. For example, another thing, speaking of Galbrena, another thing that I was like, what the hell is this? Was their reunion. Galbrena and Augusta's reunion. It was so fucking stale. It was so fucking stale. Not a handshake, not a hug, no anything. Augusta was just like, Galbrena was like, so, you finally remember, or you finally recognize me. And Augusta was like, yeah, it took me a while. And that's it. They were like best buddies when they were kids, right? and they haven't seen each other in like 20 years. And that's how they greet each other? You know, like Galbrena killing Cartathea a bit. It felt rushed.
Good.
It felt rushed. If they had set up like the whole thing better, if they didn't just rush it, if they made it longer and made it later in the patch, right? We could have met Galbrena. We could have like seen each other. We could have go on a quest, do something, and then we get hit by Galbrena killing Cartathea. That would have had a much bigger impact. There's no story in the second half. We're probably going to have like a story quest for Q1. Probably, maybe, mayhaps, perchance. I saw a lot of YouTubers and streamers saying, "Oh, bro, this story 2.7 was so fucking peak, bro. It was amazing. The cutscenes, the story, Galbrena's backstory. Galbrena is amazing. Whatever it was top quality, bro. It was top quality. They put everything in 2.7. 2.7 was like the peak. No, it wasn't.
Today's story.
No, it fucking wasn't.
The great
You are hyped because
because
of the cutscenes and because everyone around you is hyped, and you don't want to see like a party pooper. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't peak either. Alright, the cutscenes were the story, the 2.7 story. I don't know about that, bro. Second half is going to be an after story, which wraps up Rinazita part. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you're probably totally right. I think people are still riding the high. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't call it peak. Me neither. Me neither.
Smells so good.
And maybe I didn't ride on all the hype, right? I didn't ride on all the hype because I don't really follow much I just played the game. I played the game for myself. I don't really watch like a lot of stuff about the game. I play it, I watch the streams when I can, and I like what I like and I dislike what I dislike. And when I was playing, I was noticing some details. So the thing is, when you play a video game and you don't notice anything, you just play it and you don't even realize that you're playing it, you are just enjoying it, right? You don't feel the need to point anything out, and only at the end, when you think back, you realize you couldn't point anything bad out, right? Only when you look back is that you realize that. And that's how a story is good. Because, well, only at the end can you say that you didn't notice anything wrong. But during this quest, all of the fucking time, I was noticing stuff wrong. The clunky animations, the weird pauses, right? The mismatching voice,
so good.
voice acting, right? The lip sync was not there during some scenes. The art changed. Like, it seems like the graphical settings and bloom effects and stuff like that changed on certain cutscenes when there were a lot of characters, but because it was pre-rendered and the lip sync didn't match, right? I noticed that and I was like, bro, what the hell is going on? So when you start pointing things out while you are playing, that's a bad sign. 2.8 will be a bridge to the new region. Yeah. Want a videos
Oh,
playable
smells
as a
so
4-star? Good luck, bro. Good luck, bro. Actually,
Um,
I don't think there's a world where he becomes playable.